is extension. Unilateral is a flexion and rotation on the same side. So when the left one work, they go on the same side. Scalenes, especially the anterior one, is a little more deeper underneath the sternocleidomastoid. And this will conclude the second muscle on the neck. We're going to move on a little bit on the chest area. We have two muscles. We're going to start first with the pec minor because it's deeper. Clavicle tells you that is the first rib. Underneath, just underneath the clavicle is the second rib. So third, fourth, and fifth. Third, fourth, and fifth rib. It's the origin of the pec minor. Insertion, this empty spot here, just going a little more deep here. Just this part here is the insertion of the pec minor, which is the coracoid process of the scapula. That's the muscle fiber direction, and that's a cross fiber direction. Pec minor is deeper than pec major, which is on the top. What is the action of the pec minor? We have depression, we have depression, protraction, and downward rotation. On top of the pec minor, we have a pec major. Pec major have two origins. We call the clavicle head, which is like 1/3 medial of the clavicle. And the sternum head, we just sternum all the way to the 6th rib cartilage here. And from that direction goes to the bicipital groove, which is this part here. The clavicle head has this way muscle fiber direction, while the sternum head is this direction, muscle fiber direction. For the reason of those two different directions, both those two groups does ADD, horizontal, ADD, and internal rotation. The only difference is that the clavicle head and the sternum head are antagonists to each other for the only action, which is the flexion and extension of the humerus. It's superficial muscle. It's one of the two strongest muscles that does the adduction. And here we finish the muscle number 4. And the last one, before we go to the next group, is serratus anterior. Serratus anterior is a muscle that just most likely we see it in 3 dimensions, anterior, lateral, and posterior. So the best way is to start the origin, which is from rib 1 all the way down to rib 8. So these are the origin of the serratus anterior, and run in this direction. And we're going to turn the clients on the side. You're going to open the client's arm. From here, just go all the way up to the scapula and move on the scapula. Goes underneath the scapula and touch the scapula in the middle border. But it goes from the underneath surface to the middle border of the scapula. What is the action of this muscle? This is the most priority muscle for the protraction of the scapula, so bring the scapula away from midline. But also at the same time, this muscle does upward rotation because it goes up to the 8 ribs. That's why they call upward rotation. Is this a superficial or deep muscle? Depends what view you're looking. In the posterior view, this is the deepest one. Why? Because it goes underneath the traps, rhomboids, rotator cuff muscles, scapula, subscapularis, and it's between the ribs and the subscapularis, so it's like just deeper. The best way in the lateral view is easy way because it's superficial, we can see it. And if you can go back on the anterior view, they get still deeper because it goes underneath the pec major. And here we finish the muscle number 5.